So thank you once again. Welcome to our class for this our Swahili class. We of course we do meet every Tuesday. We still maintain the same time, 9:30 p.m. East African time. Sorry for the delays that has been caused by some other few issues here and there. So for today, of course, we will have to proceed with our studies from where we've left it. We were looking at, of course, the animals, and we've looked at animals for the 2 sessions now. And now we will be going straight to various professions in Swahili. That will be very interesting for us to learn some of the names for various professions that we have. Unless somebody has any question in regards to the animal lessons that we did last time, please let me know. Any questions on animal before we proceed to this profession?
No, it's good.
Okay, let's go to the professions. Now here we'll describe various types of works, and especially works that are more of available within the African context, or available within the African context. And I'll start with some of the few of the works that I resonate closely with, and those will be the main thing I'll look at, and then we go ahead to look at other categories of work as well that others do in the continent. And I'll start with the first one. Of course, a teacher. If you can remember, the teacher name is
Mwalimu.
Yes, mwalimu. Mwalimu is the name of a teacher. Mwalimu, I think it's somewhere here. Let me take my editing pen. I'll use my editing pen for today. Is it the pen is here. That's signature. Okay, I'm trying to look for the pen. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, so we have the first one, mwalimu, which is the one in this highlighted one here. Yes. Sorry for that. Taking it a bit high. Stop. So we have mwalimu, the one highlighted here. There is a teacher, and the word is mwalimu, and in plural is walimu. So mwalimu is the singular, and walimu is the plural. This belongs to the noun class in Swahili, noun class MW. So Swahili has a noun class called MW. It has almost 7 noun classes, but there's one noun class called MW, and that's why you get mtoto, and the plural is watoto. That's why you get mwalimu, and the plural is walimu. So that's the first noun class MW, and that's why we get mwalimu. We equally have another as we've said, the first one is mwalimu. Let me write it just on the blue screen. Mwalimu. If you look at mwalimu being, of course, a teacher, the word teaching or education comes from the word mwalimu, so it's very close. Let me go to relate it to the word education so that you can see how did you either drive the word a teacher. So you see mwalimu, education is called elimu. Elimu. Elimu is education. And now we get mwalimu out of it. So that's how it's closely related. And they say the plural of mwalimu is walimu. The next one is, of course, mwanafunzi is not a profession. but is a student here for this case. Mwanafunzi. And as I said last time, now you see mwanafunzi, which means a student, is derived from the word teach. This is a student, and it's directly from the word teach. So to teach is called funza or fundisha. So it can be funza or it can be fundisha. That means teach. Now you get funzi of a student coming from the word funza. So you have fundisha, which then is teach, or teach. Hope you can get me up to there. So those are the where we get these two words, mwalimu and mwanafunzi, which is very important for us for this case. And you see how we derive those two words. One, mwalimu coming from the word elimu, which is to teach, and mwanafunzi coming from the word funza, which is mwalimu, which is a teacher, coming from the word elimu, which is education. Mwanafunzi, student, coming from the word fundisha or funza. So I think that's very clear. So let's go to other more professions we have. So we'll go to, which next profession should we go to? We'll go to politics, because I like politics anyway. And so we'll have siasa, mwana siasa. Mwanasiasa is a politician. While the word siasa is politics. Siasa. Politics. The next word you'd like to know, let me know. Any profession you'd like to check? I know they're in the screen here, and that's why there's an issue, but you can also go with the screen chat. So the first one in the screen is called mtangazaji. If you can see my screen where my cursor is moving, the first one is mtangazaji. Tangazaji. The plural is watangazaji. Now, mtangazaji is coming from the word tangaza. Tangaza. The words that follow M, that precedes immediately after M, this word called tangaza. That's why we get the word mtangazaji. Come to tangaza, which is these words here. How then? This one tangaza. That's where we get mtangazaji. And the word tangaza means announce. Announce. So if you're announcing anything, you are tangaza. Then from there we get mtangazaji, a person who announces things, which then English call announcer. But probably in this other context, we can use it as either a news reporter or somebody, a journalist. Especially most of the time we use it also for journalists. We call them mtangazaji or watangazaji. That's how we call journalists over here, watangazaji. Of course, they try to put mwandishi wa habari. If you see, the paragraph down here in the chart, the one I'm trying to mark here, they're saying mwandishi wa habari. Let me check what's going on here. Can you see where my cursor is? It's trying to move up, but the word second line just way below down here. See how it goes. Can you see the word below here? I don't know what I've done to this text. It's trying to move up and down. No, the one down, mwandishi. The second last line in the first group before mbunge. Now look at the journalist. Can you see the journalist in the column? No, in this first column in the blue, you can see the word journalist somewhere.
Yeah, I was looking at Taylor.
Now the journalist, if you look at the other side, is called mwandishi. Mwandishi wa habari. Can you see that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can see it where the journalist is.
The bottom. Mwandishi wa habari. Journalist.
Wa habari. Mwandishi wa habari. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Now, this actually they call it journalism. I think is where there's a differences and confusion between mtangazaji and a journalist in Swahili. Habari are the news. Remember we said that news, the news that is being reported, we call it habari. Now, mwandishi is a writer. That's how we call a writer. Either author or somebody writes something is called mwandishi. Because the word mwandishi comes from the word andika. Andika or andishi. So when you say mwandishi wa habari, we mean the writer of news. News writer. I don't know if a news writer is the one we call a journalist. Then what's the difference between a news writer and a news reporter? The news reporter is the one in the field. Reporting the news. Then a writer, let me give you how the confusion is here, especially in translating this profession to Swahili. In a TV station or a radio station, we have one who announces the news. Come out and read the news. Either 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. news. Whoever come out to read the news is whom we call mtangazaji. That's the person with mtangazaji. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes. So mtangazaji is the one who announced the news. The one on the studio. Mwandishi is the one who writes the news. In this case, you can either call them news reporters, either the journalists. So the one who writes the news probably is the one who reports the news. So when you have mtangazaji in the studio, then he gets to the journalist who is on the ground to give the update. So that's the difference. So mtangazaji is the one who announces the news, news reporter, who is in the studio giving the news. Then mwandishi wa habari is the one on the ground giving or writing the news, whom we call the journalist. That's the difference. Then the second profession from top is mwanajeshi. The word is jeshi, mwanajeshi, which is army officers, and if they are plural, we call them wanajeshi. Now the word jeshi is the army. Most of the time in most of this profession, you'll find the word mwana is used several times. Mwa. So mwanajeshi is actually an army officer, and army is called jeshi. Then the next one is kinyozi. Kinyozi. The work that I do most of the time is kinyozi, and the plural is vinyozi. Kinyozi, that means the barber, and the plural vinyozi, which are barbers. Now the barber shop, we still also call it kinyozi in Kiswahili. So we call barber shop the same word kinyozi as the same as the name of the barber. Now, out there, I know when you talk of the word saloon, I think saloon also comprise of the barber shop as well. Is it the same? Sister Valerie or Sister Ida or Sister Myra? Is the word saloon encompasses a barber shop?
No. Saloon. In some sense, saloon is a bar.
A bar? Did you say a bar?
Yeah, a bar.
Oh. Okay. To us,
in Uganda, a hairdresser is saloon. So in Uganda, if a woman is going to do their hair, they say, I have an appointment at the saloon. Well, in the UK, we say hairdresser. So it depends on where one is.
okay, it's either hairdressers or the barber.
Hairdresser in Uganda, we say saloon for women.
Yes, even us, and in Swahili, saloon is for women.
We just say we're going to the hairdressers, not the saloon.
Yeah, so that's the difference. And so they just call it salooni. It just add the word N-I, salooni for women, while for men, it remains kinyozi. Of course, we also attend to women who come to shave their hair, but we believe that in kinyozi is where people come for hair shaving.
Right.
Well, where people go to make their hair braids and the rest, especially women, is the saloon.
Yeah, we call it salon, S-A-L-O-N, hair salon.
Yeah, it's hair salon. We call it saloon. It's the pronunciation, but the right pronunciation is salon. But here you'll find them, they've written saloon all over, but it's salon. So that salon is called salooni in Swahili. It's just borrowed from English, but you have kinyozi, which goes directly for the barber shop. So kinyozi is both the barber and it's also the barber shop. It's the same name. Then the next one we have mjenzi. Mjenzi is a builder, a mason. We call them mjenzi. Now mjenzi comes from the word jenzi or jengo or jenga. Jenga means build. So we get a builder who is called mjenzi from the word jenga. Then we have mfanya. The word is mfanya. Mfanya biashara. Mfanya biashara. Can you try to pronounce that?
Mfanya biashara.
Yes. Mfanya biashara, if you do a direct translation, is the one who does business. Biashara is business. So the one who does business. Fanya means do. So he who do or she who do business is what is the name we call it in Swahili, which English call a businessman or a businesswoman. We call it who he do business, which is mfanya biashara. So a business person is mfanya biashara, and biashara is the business. Then we have karani or makarani. Karani is the clerk. That's very easy to pronounce. Karani. That is a clerk. Karani. Then you have fundi wa computer. Fundi wa computer. The word computer has been borrowed from computer in English. Fundi is a technician. But fundi is a word name. Is a guy who does anything, profession. So if it's for computer, we say fundi wa computer. If it's electrician, we say fundi wa steamer, electrician. If it's for shoe repair, we say fundi wa viatu. If it is for radios, we say fundi wa radio. Any fundi for building, we just call them fundi. So most of even the people who tailor clothes, we just call them fundi still. But now fundi wa cherehani. The word fundi is a common name for a technician, but not technician in terms of science, but anybody who does any repair or does any work, we call them fundi. So you'll hear fundi a lot all over, fundi. So it doesn't mean anybody, only the one who does computer is called fundi. Fundi is a common name for many people who does any repair or build or come up, other people who tailor clothes, we call them fundi. So fundi, you only attach it to whatever the person does. So it's a fundi wa nyumba, he does building, which is either you can call a mason or mjenzi. Fundi wa nguo, the one who repairs clothes. Fundi wa simu, the one who repairs phones. And fundi all over. So most of the common word you'll get fundi. Fundi is a common word. We have daktari. Daktari, which is borrowed directly from the doctor in English. Daktari or madaktari. So if you want to see a doctor, you say daktari. Daktari is a doctor. It's a very simple word to pronounce, daktari. Now we have mhandisi. Mhandisi. Now this is an engineer. Mhandisi is not a common word referred to engineers, but it's the right word or the right name for engineer. Mhandisi. Mhandisi. That's the right word for an engineer. Then we have mkulima. Mkulima. Mkulima or wakulima is a word for farmer or farmers. Now the word lima, the second syllable in the last, lima, it means plow. Plow. Take your either jembe or whatever you call it, plowing is called lima. Kulima is to plow. Kulima is to work or till your land, or plowing your land or tilling your land is called kulima. Then mkulima is the person who does the work. The farmer. We call him or her mkulima. Then the fisherman or the fisherwoman, we call them mvuvi. Mvuvi. This is very hard to pronounce, but if you can see how my mouth is moving, it's mvuvi. So you say mvuvi. 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 Can you try that?
Mvuvi.
Yes. Mvuvi. Now mvuvi is the fisherman or fisherwoman is mvuvi. And wavuvi is not the plural if there are many. Fishermen or fisherwoman. I don't know why fishing is only having a man and a man. But in Kenya here, even women go for fishing. Like where I'm brought up in the village. We could go and just stand on some stone and throw something in the water and wait for the string to come out. Once it's heavy, we pull it out and you have the fish. We are going home and we eat our fish. We stay next to the lake. But of course, some of my people in the village go for long distance fishing. Like those people we met in the ocean the other time we were in Zanzibar. So they go at night using those small boats at night and they fish. And they are using even a lamp, the small lamp for lighting, and they'll come tomorrow in the morning. So they leave at around 6 in the evening, and they'll stay in the waters of the lakes until around 5 or 4 in the morning next day, and they'll come with either they come with the daga, we call it omena here, or they'll come with which you call nail patch. They'll come with any type of fish. But that's what they do every night and morning. Daytime, they're resting. In the evening, they go for fishing. So we call them wavuvi. Now, I know there's a Sister Myra has asked for the name of a carpenter. We call it seremala or fundi wambao. Let me try to write it somewhere, Sister Myra, so that you can get it. Any question, you can come in.
How do you spell the first one? Seremala.
Let me give you the spelling. If you can see my blue screen. Can you see it? Seremala. Yes. Or you just say fundi wambao. Fundi wambao.
Thank you.
Now when you say fundi wambao, mbao is the timber. The timber we use. So we say is a fundi of that timber. Is a timber technician. But the right word is seremala for the carpenter. Seremala.
Thank you.
Now we have, as I was saying, mvuvi, who is a fisherman. Then we have muuza samaki. Muuza samaki, who is a fish vendor. Now that muuza comes from the word uza. Uza means sell. Uza.
Muuza samaki.
Muuza samaki. So uza means sell. So muuza is whoever sells fish. That's what that statement is saying, muuza samaki. He who sells fish or she who sells fish is called muuza samaki. Then we have mlinzi. Mlinzi. Mlinzi is actually a watchman or a guard. Here we call them watchman or women. But that's the right word for watchman. We say mlinzi, and basically come from the word linda. So let me say, if you see mlinzi there, we are bringing it from the word linda. Mlinzi. So you have the word linda, and linda means take care. Linda. Linda is take care. So whoever takes care, we call it mlinzi. He who takes care. Mlinzi. That's now the guard, or you call the watchman or woman. Then you have mbunge. Mbunge. Mbunge is a member of parliament. Because then bunge is the parliament. So mbunge is a member of that parliament. And bunge is the parliament. Bunge is a parliament. Bunge. So Mbunge is a member of parliament. In my mother tongue, the word Bunge means forest. Forest. So these are direct translation to us. We say members of the forest. So we call politicians the monkeys. They're the members of the forest. But Mbunge is the red word for politician, Mbunge. Then we have Waziri, the now the upper column, Waziri or Mawaziri. So Waziri is the minister, Waziri. So you'll get them say Waziri wa Afya, which means Minister of Health, Waziri wa Elimu, Minister of Education, Waziri wa Barabara, Minister of Roads, all those. So just attach them to whatever they do. Then we have Muuguzi. Muuguzi. Try to pronounce that. Muuguzi.
Muuguzi.
Yes, Muuguzi. That's the nurse. The nurse is Muuguzi. Uguza, the Uguza means nursing something. So if you have anywhere that's painful, we say una uguza. So we bring the word uguza. Uguza, which means nursing something, which is either somewhere that's painful, you're nursing some pain or something like that, is called uguza. So basically it's nursing. So Uguzi is the one that does the nursing, which is now the nurse. That's how we get the word Muuguzi. From the word Uguza, we get the nursing. Then you get the word Muuguzi. Then police is just directly from English, police, policy. So as we say, policy. Some can also call them askari. You see there's askari somewhere down here. If you move down there somewhere, there's a column for soldier. If you can see here. So if you see where there's a soldier, we call the soldier askari. But police, we also call police. So some say police are askari. But there's difference between askari and police. Askari is the more lower ranks ones, like either the county, the county, we call them kanjos, the municipal officers, those security officers in the municipality. They are not basically qualified trained police officers, but we call them municipal officers. So they call them askari, but you see it's also give them the name soldier. Soldier, to us we know soldier is either an army officer, which then in Swahili we call it mwanajeshi, is an army officer. So the word askari, as you see here, is not basically meaning a soldier, as per the person working in a military basis. It's just an officer who keeps security, and it's most of the lower ranking officer. It's a name that's being used for lower ranking officers, especially the municipal askaris. So the municipal askaris are those municipal officers, security officers. They might not be having higher ranks. They might not be that soldier, as the translation in this book says. A soldier to us, we either call it army officer, because a soldier working, because the word soldier to us connotes more of somebody working in the officers up there. Maybe if in English the word soldier just refer to a low-ranking security person, maybe that is it. But to us, askari is the low-ranking police or security officer, while polisi is now a trained police officer. Then mwanajeshi is now the army officer. So either they are marine army, either they are any army they call them. We just call them mwanajeshi. So there might be a bit differences here in terms of interpretation of meaning, but also the connotation of it. To us, askari is any person who keeps peace. It's a bit higher than mlinzi, who is the guard, because the guard mlinzi is now the watchman, the lower ranking. So to us, is the lower ranking security officer is called watchman or mlinzi to us. Either the English call them guards, the lower ranking. And the one that are at a upper level a bit, they are called askaris, but they are still not so-called trained officers. They are just askaris, the one that collects or control traffic within the city. They are employed by the city or municipality. Then you have now the police. the one that now work within the police service. Then now we have mwanajeshi, the one in the armies. That's the order. Any question on that?
No, thank you.
Okay. Now, after polisi, which I discussed before, we go to mwanasiasa. And at the same mwanasiasa, of course, is politician. Now we go to raisi. We either call it rais without an I, rais without an I, or raisi with an I at the end. So raisi is a president. So maraisi or marais are presidents. So the one is raisi. So you'll hear somebody say raisi wa Tanzania, raisi wa Kenya, raisi wa Uganda, raisi wa Zimbabwe, raisi wa Rwanda, raisi wa Congo, basically the president of. Then you have waziri mkuu. Now remember up there we have discussed the word waziri as a minister. So mkuu is the bigger one, coming from the word kuu. So the big minister, that's where we get it. The senior minister or the big minister, mkuu. That's where some country call them prime ministers. But us we call them waziri mkuu. I know Tanzania now has a waziri mkuu. Kenya we are having almost same waziri mkuu, but the name is being hidden a bit because we moved away from ministers to cabinet secretaries. So our ministers are called cabinet secretaries. I don't know if so still give them the upper power of being ministers if they are reduced to just secretaries of the cabinet. But then where we have a prime minister, like I know in UK, that prime minister is called waziri mkuu in Swahili, waziri mkuu. While waziri is just a minister, waziri mkuu is the prime minister. Elder Glenn?
No, it's okay. Got it.
Okay. Then now we have professor. We've just borrowed it from English directly. We call it professor with an SA. So it's just a professor with an SA. There's no double S. We remove OR and replace with SA. So it's a professor, just like that. For professors. Afisa wa usalama is now security officer. So these are general security officers. So it can be either a soldier, it can either be a guard, it can be an army, any security officer. It's called afisa wa usalama or afisa usalama. The word afisa means officer. Officer. Now usalama means security. Usalama, security. So security officer, which is now general, it can be the rank of an askari, it can be a rank of a mwanajeshi, it can be a rank of a police. They're just there to keep security. That's the general name, we call them security officers. Afisa. In fact, the word is afisa wa usalama or afisa. It will always have wa usalama because it's an officer of security. That's how Swahili translate it. Officer of security. Afisa wa usalama. Now we have afisa wa trafiki. From the word traffic. From the word traffic, we get trafiki. We have also tried to borrow the word traffic officer from English, and we call them trafiki. So afisa wa trafiki, let me write the word trafiki. So we get afisa wa trafiki, it basically means a traffic officer. Of course, it's a traffic police, but you call it trafiki. So afisa wa trafiki, which is a traffic officer. People call them police, traffic police. That's afisa wa trafiki. But officer wa usalama is just a security officer. Now we have muuza duka. Remember we are talking about uza to mean sell. So where we come across muuza duka is a shopkeeper or somebody who sells at the duka. Duka is the shop, duka. So duka is the shop. So muuza duka is the one who sells at the shop, which English now calls it as shopkeeper. Then you have askari, which we discussed. Then you have mushoni. It's not the right word, it's not a common word, but mushoni, which is a tailor, which means Shona. From the word Shona, I know Shona is a community in Southern Africa, but that's why we get the word mushoni. But the right word is say fundi wa nguo. You can either call them fundi wa nguo, but the word Shona, where we get the word mushoni, Shona means either weave or repair, weaving. So you're either weaving, but not weaving as the making the clothes. So either you're making the cloth or mending the cloth, or even trying to repair anything or come up with a sweater. Anything you are trying to shona is coming from the word shona. Shona is weaving. Trying to weave, it be a basket, it be a bucket, be it a cloth, be it a bag, whatever you're trying to weave, is that action is called shona or kushona, to weave, to repair, to do anything else. So when you have the word mushoni, is one who shona, is the one who weaves. So it can be either tailoring or repairing the clothes, making the clothes, or weaving the clothes. In that process we call them mushoni, but the right word sometimes we call them fundi wa nguo. Fundi, which you have already talked about, fundi, then wa nguo is a cloth technician. That's how English want to call it. So it's a fundi of clothes, which is nguo. So you can call them fundi wa nguo, you call them mushoni, as is listed here is correct. But then mushoni comes from the word shona, which means repair. Then you have dereva wa taxi. A taxi is the taxi and dereva is the driver. So driver wa taxi is taxi driver. We've talked about mwalimu and we've talked about fundi is the technician. Fundi is technician. Then you have kazi. Kazi is the work. Work, any work you do, any work, any task, we call it kazi. So unafanya kazi gani? Which work do you do? Uko kazi. Are you at work? So kazi is the same name, we call it all over. And also Samara is asking, matatu is the same as taxi. Now taxi is not same as matatu. Taxi is the current modern one called Uber. Is a private vehicles. And they have a tag on top of them written taxi, which is TAXI. So those are taxi. They are more of the modern Uber. We call them taxi. Then matatu is more of now the public one. The overall one that everybody gets in, we call them matatu. But then we saw matatu around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are in Kenya here. The culture is very fun. They have pimped them all over. They have painted names and everything. In fact, Kenya matatu culture is the most known culture. They were comparing the other day with the Jamaica. They are either 32 seaters or above. Some are small ones, the Nissans, the small Nissans. They are around 14 seaters. Those are now matatu. Well, taxi is a private one. So it's either 4 people seater or a Uber or type, we call them taxi. So kazi is the work, then mfanya kazi is one who does the work. Mfanya, the one that fanya kazi, the one who does the work is called mfanya kazi. Any question?
Mfanya kazi. Yeah, that's okay.
Any question?
No.
No.
Okay. So if there's any question, I'll just be playing my number one song. I know I've missed it before we leave, but That's it for today. I'll either look for some more words of some professional in Swahili and share with you in the same WhatsApp group.
Can we go back to London time? Because I find this is 10:30. I'm tired.
Go to London time. What time will it be? An hour earlier?
Can we do it a bit earlier?
You mean an hour earlier, or we do it 30 minutes earlier? We start by exactly 9 p.m. East African time?
No,
Um,
2000 hours East London, East Africa time.
yeah. If we
6
start
o'clock.
at 8,
London.
yeah.
No, what time?
What do you think, Sister Myra?
What time would that be in the UK? Would that be 6 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yeah,
In-
I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that.
yeah, because this is
In London.
it's
So-
10 now, and I
So-
find myself dozing a bit, and I don't want to be doing that.
So 6, if it goes to 6 o'clock, Glenroy, Elder Glen, will it be 8 p.m. Kenyan time? Or
8
8:30?
o'clock Kenyan time. Yes, 2 hours ahead. London is 2 hours behind.
8
So it
o'clock.
would be 6 o'clock. Would be 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay, I can try. I'll try my best to leave the shop a bit earlier. So I can on either Tuesday try to leave the shop then early enough, maybe an hour earlier than how I do, so that then I can come and do it. I don't have
Would
any
you
issue.
lose
I will just
business?
close the shop a bit earlier.
Would you lose business then?
Yes?
We don't want to be doing that.
Yes?
Would you be losing business?
No, of course, there's a shop I work with a friend. Just that I'll now leave early, leave him go on. I'll get my share by that time. No problem. It's not too much that I may be losing. Maybe a $0.5 or $1. So it's not that much anyway. But of course, it has some impact. But I'll leave and come maybe by 8. I'll try my best to be 8. I have a big space now in the house, so even if the food is not ready by 8 over, I can just get to another room and go on with the class. So I'll try to make that arrangement next time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
If we could.
Okay, so then that's good. So let's meet then. Next time I'll make my alarm earlier. So we're meeting 6 p.m.
Yeah.
London time. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, because that's what we used to do.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
do for me. Yeah.
okay. Sister Mara, would that be okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, if it's fine with you, brother, it's fine with me.
Okay. So I'll make it 6 p.m. time. 6 p.m. London time. So let's send it here. I'm just looking for one song. If you are not in a hurry, if you're in a hurry, you can just go to rest. If you're not in a hurry, I'll be playing one Swahili song that has an English translation as we bring this to an end. So thank you very much for your time today. Let's meet next week.
Thank you.